Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Believes Crypto Show, where we take today's major crypto news events of the day and see what's happening so that you know what's going on in the crypto world. My name is Believes, and I'm your host for this journey, so please do me the favor of hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified of future content, and we're going to kick off tonight after this jump with these, our top stories.
It's your boy Bleeves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, it is an interesting day today. Listen, it is, you must all listen, you have to. We got to be honest. I got to be honest with you guys. If an officer of the law tells you to stop, if they say don't do what you're about to do, then you should not do that. January 6th was yesterday. Every other day you have to obey the law. Have you not read your MAGA playbook? God, I can't believe you people. It's getting wild out here. Anyway, so yeah, some lady got shot. The police officer who didn't go under the tire, who wasn't hit by the car, was in the hospital, according to Donald Trump. Guys, I really don't know what to tell you. You can watch it. You can see it. You can watch the whole thing. If you are a leftist, you're initially going to look at it and you're going to be like, that's exactly what happened. This lady didn't run over anybody. If you listen to the right, the guy got run over, was able to get out from under the wheel, stand up and shoot her inside her car as she was driving away. As they were, by the way, no, I don't want to point this out because it would be obvious at this point. They were telling her to move. They were telling her to move. She started moving and they shot her. You know, that lady, maybe she was Venezuelan. I don't know. It was a wild time. Wild time. Let's get into the news and let's get away from the tragedy that is this current administration. First of all, guys, XRP spot trading has gone live on Hyperliquid via Flare's FXRP. Now, the way that this works is this is a wrapped pair. By moving FXRP across chains using the facets system of Flare and Layer 0 standard OFT, it is possible to send money to chains and back to the XRP ledger with a single click. According to the official statement, the implementation enables XRP owners access to fresh on-chain trading platforms, with custody being entirely on the blockchain. So you can now trade your XRP tokens in the Hyperliquid network. So this is a great opportunity for you if you were looking for that. If you're looking for Hyperliquid, if you're looking for Aster, whatever it is, then now you have a pool in which, and by the way, this is a pool that's using the liquidity from XRP, not from Hyperliquid. So that means that it's going to be deep because it's XRP, and you should be fine with any trading that you might be doing. Also, I took a long position on WLFI. Didn't pay off at all so far. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but WLFI is seeking a US banking charter to bring USD1 stablecoin fully onshore. And if they're able to do that, then that's going to be great for cryptocurrency broadly. And what do you think the odds are that the banking in the Trump administration is going to turn down the Trump stablecoin and the Trump bank? Are you seeing the way this is headed? There is no chance whatsoever that we do not see a World Liberty Financial Bank coming up at some point very, very soon. It's inevitable. It's going to happen for sure. You can bank on this one, okay? So I would be watching for World Liberty Finance. Again, I took a long position on this, only 3x, but why not throw $100 at it and just see what happens? If something good happens and you get a 2 or 3x off of it, that's a 200 or 300% gain for me. I'll take that. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. And if I lose it, it was $100. You know what I mean? Also, why crypto prices are going down today? And I'm going to tell you that the answer to that is very simple. The answer is manipulation. Let's talk about it. So the jobs report, the JOLTS report came out. The JOLTS report looked good for the economy. Why would crypto dump? Everything about the report was fine. Why would crypto dump? If you're not seeing it, this was manipulation. What was the first thing that you started to see on X? The first thing that you started to see on X, and I was watching this live as it was playing out this morning, and that was first the JOLT report came out and it gave us good data. But then I saw a crypto blog immediately say, oh, this is bad for crypto. And by the way, it's not a blog I've ever heard of before. They just said, oh, this is bad for crypto because and then the next thing you know, what you ended up seeing was a massive dump in the market as we went from being up, I want to say 20 or I want to say at one point we were up about 10 billion, maybe 15 billion over the night, down to, I'm going to say about 95 billion before correcting. And I think we ended down about 85, maybe 90 billion on the day. So the losses were sustained across the board and it stayed that way all day. Now, here's the other part to that. I thought that a correction was necessary. In case you guys didn't remember, I was already telling you that XRP had run a little bit too hot and that I would set a bid at 205 to wait for XRP's next leg up. So, and what you're getting right now is a dump, by the way, that's taking XRP maybe down to that 205 level. I could be wrong about it. I could be a little bit off on the numbers, but we're getting the dip that we were waiting for as a last entry position here before another leg up in the event that we're going to get that next leg up. Now that jobs report was not a bad thing. So let's go over some of this right here, okay? Total crypto market cap slipped to 3.24 trillion. The broader correction followed a period of sustained gains. The altcoin like XRP, Solana, and Doge were also trading in a downward direction. XRP lost 7% by wiping out previous monthly gains. The market backlash was greatly expected after the 4.5% upward movement last week. We're expecting it to happen. ETF outflows weigh on crypto market. That is not true at all. This is AI generated, cannot be real, okay? The Fed commentary and jobs data is what happened here, okay? The macro environment is positive despite the recession of crypto prices. Fed Governor Stephen Moran has described the existing policy of the rate as obviously restrictive, and this indicates that it could be eased. Now, what they did was they chose somebody who's pro-crypto to talk about it being pro-crypto and the need for rate cuts. But the recent JOLTS data is soft and it acts as a sign to the anticipation of interest rate reduction. Reduction of the rates would enhance the crypto market by elevating the liquidity situation. In the past, the declining rates are advantageous to the digital assets, namely Bitcoin and Ethereum. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I'm trying here, guys, but this article is a disaster. The wider crypto market has the potential to move on an upward trend if the charges have calmed down in the short term. This, by the way, this is just a correction. There's no change in the dynamics of anything to worry about. So we're going to move on from this. Just know, in fact, that this was a manipulation event. And by the way, if you want to go no further, then let's look at this on the hourly so that you can get just an idea, just a taste. Just a taste. Okay. Now, in the overnights at 3 a.m., you had a sell-off in the euro market, okay? Then you had sideways action until Jane Street o'clock. Jane Street, the largest market maker in the world, Jane Street, well, the second largest after Wintermute. Wintermute, sell off, Jane Street, sell off. The market makers are manipulating to get the prices where they want them. They're going after the swing positions. They're attacking people for liquidity. That's what they do. That's what's happening. You usually don't see it so blatant in a single day. You usually see them covering for one another, but today you're seeing it play out real time. So what you saw was just a leverage. This was just a leverage plunge to try to wipe out those people. Remember, we were looking at that, by the way, and I was telling you that there was a bunch of money sitting down there, and that most likely we were going to see something. And I think we were looking at, when we did this, first of all, we were looking at the symbol, and they were looking at the 1 week chart when we were looking at that. Let's see if it hit. Son of a bitch. Look at that. There's the position right there that we were talking about yesterday. This is the one we were looking at yesterday. And I said, if we don't go down and get that, it's going to be a long time before we go get it. And guess what happened? They went down and they got it. And what that did, hope you didn't sell your home. Hope you didn't risk your car. Hope you didn't borrow against anything, because they were here to kill you. They were here to devour your money. That's who they are. It's what they do. And no matter what Donald Trump is trying to, by the way, Donald Trump is trying to save a lot of the things that we hold of value right now. In case you didn't see, despite what's going on with ICE right now, and despite that tragedy that did happen, the other thing that we got was U.S. defense contractors can no longer buy their own stocks. And BlackRock and other companies like Blackstone that have been buying up individual houses can no longer buy houses from individuals to drive up the real estate market and prices. The people who are gutting the middle class and that are gutting the lower class are being put in check. And by the way, say what you want, that is something that you should all be happy to see happening, no matter what you think of whoever is the president. Whether it be Melania or JD, I don't know. I mean, Donald Trump can't be, right? Because that guy just pees himself on Fox News and, weird stuff, right? He can't be functioning, right? I'm just kidding. He's functioning just fine. Anyway, ultimately, the idea here is that he's doing things right now to attack problems that really exist in our economy. And this is a great thing. I mean, I think everybody should take a moment. Look, again, if you don't like him, whatever, but this is a great moment, and this is a great thing happening right now in our economy. I think it's going to go a long way, unless it's manipulated. But speaking of manipulation, JP Morgan to expand JPM coin to Canton network after launch on Coinbase's Base. So now JP Morgan is launched on Base. By the way, buy some Arrow. I'm telling you. I told you the other day, and it went up like 27%, 28%. Now I'm telling you, buy more. Arrow is on the network that JP Morgan's on. Also, a lot's been made in all of my, let me show it to you here. In my dev chats, which are dead, by the way. Which is just fucking dead. But there's a lot of talk about Canton and why Canton is doing all this stuff and why is Dev not doing it. And, the answer is Canton is a couple years older than Dev. It's been around for a bit longer, and it's made a few more partnerships and stuff like that. And the question was, how was it able to raise almost $1 billion and Dev can't get anybody to do anything? Well, the answer to that, I think, starts off with a very simple. Dev was launched on a shoestring budget with a bunch of guys who are also, by the way, I want to say this, Tom, I believe, is pretty independently wealthy. I'm going to say that Davin, I'm going to say that Ray, I'm going to say that most of the guys there are independently wealthy and have invested their own capital into the project. But they also secured a partnership in August of 2024, although it's still not revealed yet. has been foundational to allowing them to complete this. They do need to raise some capital. They are going to need to do some kind of bridge loan or something like that, I guess. But at some point very, very soon, you're going to see some kind of wild movement there. And then it would be my estimation that Dev catches up to Canton in terms of name recognition, not in terms of, I don't know, market capitalization or anything like that. But hearing a lot about Canton lately, because what they're doing is they're telling you that they're doing the same thing. They don't do 0-time settlement, but they do very quick settlement. They're one of the faster blockchains. So it's an interesting moment in time right here. JPM coin is a dollar deposit held at the bank. It is available for institutions to make quicker settlements at any time of the day. This development comes after an increase in institutional client demand in blockchain trading services. And where are they wanting to trade? Canton. So, I mean, we'll see what happens right there. Certainly don't think it means anything bad for Dev, because by the way, Canton is a different type of network. It's not the same as Dev's. Dev is 0 settlement, so it's T+0, meaning that it's instantaneous. Canton is still T+1, so it's not instantaneous. Now, the other thing was, there were expectations of the jobs report. The November data came in at 7.1, way below estimates of 7.6 million. The jobs report was a little bit wonky, is basically what happened here, okay? Jobs numbers opening with 7.1 in November, below estimates of 7.6 and 7.4, which was the revised figure in October. November figure also marked the lowest level in over a year. The jobs data is bullish for Bitcoin and the broader crypto market, as it suggests the U.S. labor market continues to weaken. We should be pumping. Again, when you see it everywhere, we should be pumping. We're being manipulated, okay? And by the way, it's not Chris Moran, it's Stephen Moran. So Fed Governor Chris Moran has advocated for rate cuts. Crazy. We're gonna move on though. Crypto market may crash ahead of court tariff ruling. Now this is a big one. May cause a little bit of a problem in the market. Number one, the Supreme Court is going to rule on Trump's tariffs to decide if they are constitutional or not. Now, the power of the tariff is given to Congress. Congress has shirked its own authority in favor of what can only be described, by the way, as a monarchy. And look, if you're a Trump fan, that doesn't matter to you because that's what you kind of want. That's kind of what you want anyway. Not that you want a monarchy, but you want a strong leader, and we haven't had strong leadership in a long period of time. So what you're looking at right now is a moment in time where this tariff situation, which, by the way, if the Supreme Court ruling states that Trump tariffs are illegitimate, it could cause chaos in markets. He didn't care. The U.S. government is collecting $350 billion annualized at the moment, or according to MAGA, $600 billion already. I don't know where they make their numbers up from. I really don't. But it is being tracked. So I just don't get it. Anyway, $350 billion annualized from tariffs. I mean, and by the way, you're paying it. No other foreign entity is. What you got was extra taxed by Donald Trump. Just so you guys understand this. And I know that you don't like it because you're probably in the group of people who like Donald Trump. I can't use the C word, right? But if you take just a moment and use your logical thinking mechanism in your head, just think it through, okay? You're paying tariffs. Foreign entities are not. So you've been taxed 600 or 350 billion, or 600 billion if you're MAGA. 350 billion more dollars this year than you were taxed the year before. And by the way, if you say, well, what about the tax breaks? Those tax breaks were already in the law. They were extended a couple of weeks ago when they had the big, beautiful bill. They were extended. You were already paying a little amount to begin with. So let's get in chat right now before I lose my mind here. Official Joe says, Bleaves is withering away on us. You know what? 220 pounds. Maybe the lady should not have tried to run down the cops and did what they told her. Then maybe she would not got shot. They told her to get out of the way. So if she gets out of the way, she gets shot. If she doesn't get out of the way, she gets shot. Either way, she was getting shot today. You can't make that up. You can watch the video. Was there anybody under her tire? Was there anybody in danger at any point? Not only, by the way, did the guy that she quote unquote tried to run down not have to jump and dodge all out of the way. Not only did he not have to try, he didn't have to do that. All he did was step to the side as she was driving away, reach into her window because she wasn't driving fast, and shot her. Now you can make it up and dress it up because you're in a cult or for whatever reason you think it was different. You can still watch the video. Was he hit? No. Was he under a wheel? No. Was he in harm's way? No. Was he able to walk around to the side of the car, stick his gun in her window and shoot her? Yes. So she wasn't threatening and it was not happening the way that you're pretending. It just wasn't happening that way. Now, that doesn't mean that she wasn't violating some law or anything like that. But what you're saying is not true. We all see it. There's videos of it. It was recorded everywhere. And by the way, Donald Trump even put out a tweet saying, or whatever he calls it, whatever, I don't know. I don't even know what that place is that he posts stuff on. Said that cop was in the hospital. For what? The cop wasn't in the hospital because he got hit, because he didn't get hit. It's on video. So again, we can have the debate and you can say, you know what? Hey, this American woman, her life isn't worth anything. ICE is more important. If that's what you think, okay. We just have a difference of agreement and a difference of opinion on the value of a human life, especially when yours is not in jeopardy. But I'm going to disagree with you on that. So anyway, back to this. The prediction markets are now probably are pricing in the probability from Polymarket saying that 79% chance that the courts would be striking down the tariffs. And good, because I want my tariff money back. Want my tariff money back. So it's going to be chaos, by the way. It's going to be chaos. So if Weimar states that the markets will instantaneously price in not only the obligation to refund, but also lost government revenue, according to his observation, it is in these conditions that liquidity grabs occur easily in bonds, digital assets included. Trump repeatedly said that the tariffs brought in nearly $600 billion. A loss would leave investors wondering how much money needs to be returned and how fast and refunded would be issued. He warned that such questions rarely lead to orderly price discovery. Instead, traders usually reprice everything at once, which could lead to a crypto market crash. Okay, so Donald Trump's reckless handling of tariffs could potentially cost us a massive amount of revenue. So I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Now, in April of 2025, Trump announced a 10% baseline tariff against imports from over 50 nations, which led to a crypto market crash. The value of Bitcoin reduced more than 10% within a week, but relief came when the White House declared a 90-day tariff pause. Not long after, the market saw a rebound. In October, the rekindled tensions between US and China resulted in yet another market crash for crypto. Not true, but okay. After the warning of a 100% tariff on Chinese imports, Bitcoin dipped by over 10,000 within an hour. Wintermute did that. It was not the tariffs or any concerns. More than 19 billion in long positions were liquidated in 24 hours alone. These were the largest losses the market had ever experienced. All this stuff happened, and that leads us to today. We're going to find out, well, it leads us to 2 days from now, where we're going to find out what the Supreme Court is going to do. Now, according to the Constitution, it is the responsibility of Congress to set tariffs, not the presidency. Congress is derelict in its duty. It is Republican-led in both houses, but is derelict of duty and is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is why Trump did what he was doing. Now, once the Supreme Court rules, Congress could step in immediately and call for a vote to ratify those tariffs. But to the fact that they haven't done it at this point is just like negligent, okay? I just want to say that. It's negligent of what Donald Trump is trying to do. Again, I'm not a fan. I don't agree with him, but I support the tariffs because they were needed. to level the playing field. And this is causing chaos in the markets because Congress is derelict in their duties. If you voted Republican, you made a mistake. Okay? You made a mistake. Because they are not doing what they should be doing. They are playing politics and they are playing games. They're supposed to be the grown-ups in the room, okay? That doesn't mean vote Democrat, by the way. Whoever's libertarian, whether they're Republican or Democrat, just vote the libertarian in. Let's reduce the taxes. Let's get the burden off of us and onto somebody else. Anyway, Morgan Stanley now files for an Ethereum ETF after yesterday filing for a Bitcoin and Solana ETF. So we're going to see another Morgan Stanley ETF coming sometime around the same point. Now, they're getting late to the game. Baluwatifi Adeyemi. Jesus fucking Christ. Moving on here. All right. Let's get into it. Fear and Greed Index is back up to 42, still in neutral. I suspect that's going to crash to around 35 by tomorrow. ETF flows out 243 million today. Ethereum inflows of, remember I told you yesterday Ethereum looked kind of, yeah, they ended up with inflows of 114, and it was because I said earlier that the Ethereum grayscale was doing outflows, but that doesn't mean that BlackRock won't have a $200 million day. Remember I said that yesterday? Actually, I said $100 million day to offset it. So they actually had a $200 million inflow on the day. So let's go look at XRP inflows and Solana inflows. It's all inflows. Okay. Now we've already talked about that. Let's talk about these markets. By the way, trade volume 7 billion. We're at 11 billion in retail. So coming back slowly but surely. Today is going to cool it off a little bit because we just got wrecked by people playing their stupid political games. So we got that big red candle that we're dealing with right now. But that's on the daily. By the way, let me go to the hourly here. That was on the hourly. Let me go to the daily. All right, so now we're going to get into the charts. Jesus Christ, I can't even get this thing to move because I keep hitting the wrong button. We're going to talk about the charts. We're going to talk about what's going on, and we're going to do that right after this. Risk-based gaming and prediction markets are all the rage, and that's where TerraCasino.io comes into play. Guys, the smart money is in TerraCasino.io. Are you smart right now? If you do, you already got a login. If you're not, it's time to smarten up and get yourself a login. Go to TerraCasino.io and sign up today. Link in the description down below and start your risk-based gaming adventure right now. If you're trading meme coins or utility coins, and I do have a list, you know what the list is, but Terraport.finance is your place to go. They have everything you need. They have a deep pool of liquidity, and Terra Luna Classic is blowing up right now. You've seen the charts. And if you're trying to track your trades, then TrackMyTrades.ai is the place to go. Link in the description down below. You can track all of your trades. You can find out how successful you've been, and an automated tracker is available to you by subscription. All you have to do is sign up today. Traders everywhere are quitting their jobs left and right because this new trading indicator just turned TradingView into a profit printing machine. This is the best trading indicator that I have ever seen. This beast scans every market on TradingView, crypto, forex, stocks, you name it, it will find you entry points, and it's going to pinpoint high probability reversal zones, and it's going to do it in real time. You're looking at it on the screen right now. In fact, not only does it give you that, but it gives you sell strength indicators, and it bases them on when you should be selling after you're being asked to enter a trade. With a 90% success ratio, can you afford not to get involved on this? I'm going to ask you. This Crusader Signals indicator is the indicator that makes legends. Grab it now, link below. Don't trade blindly. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be checking this out, true believers, for the next couple of months. Guys, I think this is the next great indicator. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right. All right, so let's check this out. And while we're doing that, let's pop this up on the screen right now. What is going on? Bitcoin 100,000 this month. I think 107,000. If people would just follow instructions, what is that? 411 Deuce says, if people would just follow instructions from law enforcement, then these kind of things wouldn't happen. But guys, it's January 7th. It's not January 6th. MAGA doesn't have to follow the law yesterday I mean, does that mean that we should have shot everybody in the Capitol? Just asking the question. Leave your comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I mean, either we follow the law or we don't follow the law, right? Or are we just saying that Ashley got what she deserved? Is that what we're saying? Wasn't that her name? Ashley Babbitt or something? She got what she deserved because she was not following law enforcement. If she had been following law enforcement, she'd still be alive today. All right, so here's what we called. We called this green line. We called this green line. Guess what happened? It rejected off of that green line. What did I tell you would most likely happen from that? You get a move here, you get a move here, and you get that move back down into that 88, 89,000 range, maybe even that 87,000 range, and then boom, that's when we get that reversal. So I'm sticking with the reversal getting ready to happen now. Problem is, we don't know what's going to happen with the Supreme Court. So ultimately, the chart looks like we're going to have a couple of choppy days going forward. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with the Supreme Court. So we were good. Now we're kind of nervous. Ethereum is breaking down before it got to where it was supposed to go, which was this next leg up right here. And since it didn't make it to that next leg up, that leaves us kind of wondering what's next here. I mean, like that, the yellow right up there, you can see that's what I thought was going to happen, but I thought it would play out all the way to the top. And as you can see, it only played out 3/4 of the way. I don't like being that wrong. I think that maybe we'll get a little bit more of a rally. Maybe it'll look like this one, which if you go back and look, it was move, dump, move, dump, move. So maybe we're going to get a move, dump, move, dump, move, and we'll finish that move out. Seems to be the way the market's working right now. Solana made its way up to, where did we call it? I mean, guys, listen, I can only take so many victory laps. I'm just kidding. I can take every victory lap. But look at this. We did it again. We called it right there. It went up right there. It rejected and it came back down. What do we do on XRP? Not only did we go to XRP, it broke out. Then it came back down. We're almost at 205. Set your bids at 206. I'm sorry, 206. Set your bids at 206. And then we'll see what happens there. Tau broke out, then it broke down again. Tau was having a nice run, went up to almost 305. Again, it did exactly where we were talking about. I was giving you the numbers, what I thought was going to happen. We got real close on every single one of them. BNB, look at this. BNB broke above and then came back down, and it's using it as support right now. I don't know if it'll stay that way, but it was happening. Avalanche did not break out like we hoped. It's moving like I said it was going to. But based on the length here, it was probably going to go up here to 1895, and we're not even close yet, so could break down. Luna Classic, same thing. Trump, same thing. Near Protocol, same thing. Crusader Signals, by the way, giving you buy signals all the way around, by the way. I think with 3 buy signals on Crusader Signals, if I was going to recommend something to you and I see it just pop up like this, then I would say this is a great time to buy, because gave you a buy signal right here, gave you a buy signal right here, gave you a buy signal right here, and you're actually right at that level right now. So I think there's going to be another, I think it's primed for another move. I think it's primed for an aggressive move right now. So the worst thing that you could do would not be to buy some Near Protocol. Now, no buy signal, by the way, on Ondo yet, but broke about halfway up, came back down. Pendle, kind of same thing. I think Pendle, was due for a bigger move than what we got here, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm still waiting for the move on SWE right there. It's not as aggressive as I would have liked. This move right here, this might stop it right there, but we didn't even get to that spot yet, so I'll be looking for that one to play out a little bit better. I mean, again, it's just all these different cryptos are playing out that way. Dev dumped again today because, yes, this was the unlock day, so you had the people who are... By the way, these guys have been holding since February of 2024. And Dev hasn't done anything to instill their confidence during that period of time, other than give them some, well, you can go on Test Center and check out DevX. You can, but we can't announce who our partner is. There's a lot of complicated stuff happening back there. that we're not privy to, that just, we can't seem to get anything. By the way, when the CASP and VASP licensing is done, you will know because it's public record. So we'll see then what they're made of. And by the way, these licenses, they should be done by now. They really should be done by now. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't think it's a horrible problem, by the way. I don't think it's a horrible problem. I'm frustrated because, look, I talk to you about this every day. We talk about dev. We talk about all of these different projects. And when these projects bubble up under the surface, and by the way, dev never promised you anything, never promised me anything. Although, when you go back in history and you start to read a little bit about August of 2024, by the end of the year, by the middle of 2025, they have kicked the can so far down the road that you're just like, so I'm staying bullish on dev. I'm not giving up. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think there's any problem with it. But I'm not happy, nor am I impressed with the way that they are maintaining and managing. And I think it should be fair to say, and that we should be able to just say that. Okay. What did I do? I provided you guys with news and comfort, and they paid me for news and comfort. And then they decided to stop, but they haven't provided any comfort. They just decided to not provide you with news anymore. So I don't know what to say to that. So we'll see how this all goes. Again, I'm going to hold. I'm holding on because I think something is getting ready to happen. But I've been thinking that for a year. So if you skip out on it, I understand. If you stick with it, I also understand, because I'm going to stick with it. Also, while we're talking about breakouts here, let me show you what did happen today. Cortex is now up 145% over the last 2 days, going into a third day right now, which is a huge number, but only if you bought this bottom in the last couple days. If you bought during this buy signal over here, like, you're still way down. You know what I mean? So let me show you what I mean here. If you bought during this buy signal, then you're down a little bit still. If you bought right over here at 0.007, then you're up right now 150%. So shout out to you. But most people are still down. So when we look at it and we see it as a breakout, when I post about it being a breakout, it is a breakout, but it's a breakout over an absolute catastrophic dump that it's been having. And by the way, if we zoom out a little bit, just to give you an idea here, I'm missing something on my chart here. Symbols, yes. Scales and lines, currency and unit, scale models, yes. Scale placement, yes. Symbol, indicators, high, low. Oh, there we go. There it is. That was missing for some reason. High was $1.40. It's trading at a penny right now. This is 100x waiting to happen, by the way. So, and I'm not sure that it will, but Cortex is an AI protocol, and AI is kind of out of vogue right now. But when it goes back in vogue, I think it's going to have a big run. So I would recommend getting a little bit of Cortex. Okay. So that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Look, if you're a big fan of Donald Trump, I don't care. I'm not, but again, I support the tariffs. I don't support shooting people on the streets of America. I don't support that. And to be honest with you, it kind of disgusted me today to see him defending it. But I know he's defending it with the same veracity that a liberal is complaining about it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Here's what I'll say. All right. I think ultimately the Supreme Court is going to dictate what happens with crypto, and we're going to find out very, very soon exactly what goes on. And I'm nervous about it, but I've been nervous before, and guess what? we're still over 3 trillion market cap. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below.